think. I mean, JoJo's okay,
Well, the guy he's fighting is good. He's a
but
good
he
fighter.
drives a Mercedes.
Yeah, that's a little early.
That's Dave's thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? He's fighting. You know, the thing about JoJo is he fights often. He fights his
He's a nice kid, and he doesn't have a lot of power, but he has a lot of good activity. And this guy he's fighting is very tough, so this will be a good fight.
Yeah.
This will be a good fight.
We'll see how much he learned against Gary Russell. Just in
Yeah.
terms of how he fights a fight, keeping the focus, being more consistent with the body shots. 'Cause
Definitely needs to be more consistent.
he doesn't have world-class power, but if he commits to the body, he can hurt anybody.
I just worry with his style. So many tough fights in a row, but that's what you got to do.
Right.
So many tough fights.
Smelodies OG says the first shot Kovalev took in that sequence was high on the side of the cheek.
It was a big shot.
So what does that mean, Smelodies? High on the side of the... So what?
Hey, I don't.
Does he mean like a temple shot?
It would be like a name of the book.
Is that the
title.
first knockdown?
High on the
First
side of the cheek.
knockdown.
You know, I swear that
Supper.
first knockdown, that was like a
Repping
delayed.
Batman, dude.
Oh yeah.
That was like a delayed knockdown, the first
Yeah.
one. But I saw at the beginning of the 7th round a huge body punch by Alvarez,
Yeah.
which shook up
You could see how much
Kovalov,
he
and I
wanted
think
it.
Kovalov
Yeah,
just sort of ran out of gas.
Oh, so Smelly says it wasn't on the tip of the chin. Yeah.
And the referee
Yeah,
gave
generally
Kovalev
it's the tip of the chin that knocks somebody out, but yeah, I think high on the head
But I tell you,
discombobulates
the
folks.
second
Even on
knockdown,
the ear,
the
cheekbone,
1-2
behind the
punch
cheekbone.
on the second knockdown.
We were saying the ref gave him a chance, you know.
And they were talking about how that ref gives guys more of a
Oh,
chance than other guys.
who was the referee?
Fields, right?
Fields, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I thought that
Paola Vega says, Paolo
Yeah.
says, I was on my feet
I believe it,
the
Paolo.
entire fight.
I believe
Yeah.
it.
Hey, I
That's
loved
great.
Alvarez in that fight.
Alvarez.
But I tell you what, I thought Kovalev fought a good fight.
He was winning. He was.
I
on
thought
the
he was
points.
fighting a good fight. And,
Paolo says after the 4th round, he was like, what the F is Alvarez doing? Sorry, was Alvarez trailing bad, or was he not?
He
looking
was
good?
trailing,
just-
but it was.
they were all
I think
close
it was 3-1
rounds.
or 2-2.
He won the second round.
Okay.
But what's interesting is Alvarez will now be the champion, and he'll be the underdog if he fights Bivol. I can tell you that. He'll be
You
the
think
underdog
so?
again.
Yeah, but I heard Bivol didn't look good. Didn't look great against Shalimba, which
Shalimba's
nobody
tough
does.
To look good against, yeah. Maybe
Somebody's
I'm
asking
wrong.
how consistent is Kovalev's training. Oh, who knows?
He won every one, though. Every round.
What do you think, Samir?
Who knows?
Yeah, I agree with you. Will Bivol be the favorite or Alvarez? I don't know.
I think Bivol.
I think so, too.
Just because I think HBO will try to make him favorite as well.
Yeah.
Like they
Well, yeah,
they
you
will
know
hype him.
that, but
Yeah.
who are the odds makers taking?
I think
Bivol as well.
I think
Yeah.
Bivol, yeah. I think so.
Bivol's not as big as Alvarez, everybody.
God, Alvarez looked big in there
he
last
was
night.
big.
Big and strong.
No, but you could tell at the weigh-in and
Shoulders.
at the press conference, like with the stare downs, it's
Yeah.
like John David Jackson.
And the other thing about
Yes.
Alvarez is not.
Have I talked to JDJ lately? No, I haven't. It's been a while.
Alvarez is not.
But
like,
that's my man right there. That's my guy.
Alvarez is not like these Colombian punchers who just come up in the pros and can only punch. He's an Olympian. Alvarez had an Olympic background. He had the pedigree. He knows how to fight.
This guy says Kovalev don't like it to the body.
That's
You
true.
know,
Or the head now.
I just thought of it.
Nobody does.
You know, Alvarez.
Somebody's water.
I tell you who Alvarez looked like.
There you go.
Alvarez looked like Buster Douglas when he fought Tyson.
Yeah.
He was
That's
so
exactly how he
energy,
fought.
yeah,
The
yeah.
same jab, the way he moved around,
Alvarez got a good fast jab. Yeah, I noticed that in his last fight.
and he was strong.
Fast hands.
And Kovalev couldn't hurt him.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Let me see. You got some questions for me right there.
I have questions.
So Doug, next week I want to hear.
I got to
what
tell you, people, I haven't seen any of the boxing.
Yeah, I wanna hear what you
just
think
got
of
off
Devin
of like
and Berto.
4 days of vacation with the family.
What did you
so
do?
now I need another vacation because I'm completely spent. I got way too much sun. I ate too much, and the kids just drank.
Where did you go?
We were in San Diego.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like
It's probably hot there,
Legoland.
right?
You know, just the beach.
Nice.
Beach. I swallowed a lot of nasty ocean water.
And who'd you run into down there?
Kathy Garcia at Legoland. Shout out to Kathy and Melissa Garcia. The Garcia men were not there because they're training fighters.
Yeah.
They're busy. They got Ruben Villa the fourth. They got Alan Sanchez. They got some other kid.
Wait, Ruben Diaz is good.
Ruben Villa.
Villa.
Yeah, RV4.
Yeah.
Salinas native.
Yeah.
How about that?
At 20 years
And they're
old.
keeping him busy. Thompson, he's co-promoted by Thompson Boxing and Banner Promotions.
Yeah.
And they're keeping the kid busy. And I love it. This like I said, like I was saying about JoJo Diaz, a young guy with a promoter behind him. the promoters will keep these kids busy, win, lose, or draw. You know, if you have a setback, you come right back. You get right back on that horse, and you regain your career momentum, and you keep learning. That's the bottom line. And I see every time I see RV4 fight, he shows me something new, a little bit more than in the previous fight, and that's what you want to see.
And who's his strategist?
That would be Dean Fennell.
That's right.
You can't, no better strategist right there.
Smart.
Doug, do you have any restaurants in San Diego you want to recommend?
Yeah, there's this place. It's a breakfast place, breakfast and lunch called The Mission, and it's right around the corner from the old sports arena, there where Ali fought Ken Norton. There's a sports arena drive.
No, he didn't fight.
The first fight.
No, first fight was in San Diego.
It was in San Diego.
Yeah,
San Diego sports, whatever. It's the convention center.
That's sports arena.
But they call it the sports arena. Yeah, it's on the road. It's on is sports. So it's kind of, I forget the name of the road, but it's in that vicinity, and it's called The Mission. It's in like the beach part, like what do you call it? Is that a peninsula, like a little stretch of land where there's water on both sides?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like one of those. It's like a little kind of touristy.
What is called the
place.
Mission?
Well, the name of the establishment that we ate at that had the best food.
Really?
Yeah, and the best like coffee drinks. Oh my gosh, the shakes. And,
I'm hungry.
And they had healthy food. They had like and I had like the healthy choice. Like for the first time, I got like just egg whites. You know what I mean? Like scrambled egg whites.
Then you ate more.
Yeah.
Because you look way better.
Yeah, really. Well, I tell you what, I got a lot of exercise. Yeah, I did a lot of swimming. You know.
You read about Pajarito Moreno.
Yeah. Oh, I should have read that book. There's a lot more than those 2 pages that I showed you on Pajarito. Yeah. So his name was Ricardo.
Yeah, Ricardo.
Ricardo
you
Moreno.
look him up in box
Pajarito
rats.
means the little bird.
Yeah, exactly.
He was super popular
He was.
in Mexico and in Los Angeles.
you know-
he was like an idol.
And then he got knocked out.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Kid Hogan Basie knocked him out. Dude from Africa.
Hogan Kid Basie.
Hogan Kid Basie.
Basie.
Yeah.
Hogan
In
Kid
3 rounds.
Basie knocked him out.
See, I learned about that. They have the fight poster in there,
Yeah.
but he was doing movies, and all the movie stars would come out and watch him. But he's also one of them kids. Yeah, he was living the life too.
You know, when
Once
I
he got
saw-
a little bit of money, he was like,
I
I'm
told you
partying.
when I saw that fight.
Yeah.
February 12th, 1957.
Yeah.
He had his debut in L.A.
Yeah.
And it was at the Hollywood Legion Stadium, and they had
Yep.
a public workout that Sunday.
Yeah.
And I went to that, and it was huge. I mean, there was so many people at that workout.
Yeah.
And then he fought the 2 seed.
There was a buzz about him.
And Bob
before his
Hope
first
was
fight.
there.
Yeah.
George Raff was there.
Yeah.
And 21-year-old Dave Schwartz was there.
Wow. That was 1957.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was like,
It's crazy.
I can remember it like it was yesterday. It was so incredible. And
You bring this guy up all the time, and I'm like, I never heard. And
I
the funny
know,
thing
it
is
was-
I've heard of all of his contemporaries.
Yeah, he fought Ike Chestnut.
Yeah. Yeah.
He fought a lot of guys who were
He-
good.
He fought the popular guys of this area. What was I going to say? What struck me, this book, and I think it's just called Latino Boxing in L.A., and it goes back to the 40s. Or no, it goes back to the 30s, all the way to the present. But looking at these guys from Mexico from the 30s and 40s, sometimes, they'll say they had like a 6 or 7 year pro career, and their record's like 87, 23 losses, and 17 draws.
Yeah, and they've been knocked out 10 times.
And they've been knocked out 10 times, and they retired at 24.
Right, yeah.
And so it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it's-
And how many? And they all had 7 or 8 kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And the popular ones that were described as playboys. They were like that. And
Well-
even Ruben Olivares. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Ruben Olivares, when he was 22 years old, he was 50-0. He was 22 years old. He's like 50-0.
Remember, he knocked out Bobby Chacon.
Yeah. 2 rounds. Chacon was a young
But
prospect.
Chacon was way overweight.
Yeah.
And, trained down.
Yep.
Doug
That was
Rostovsky.
incredible. So I was at that fight,
Oh.
Was that at the Forum?
and
I think it was,
It was
yeah.
at the Forum.
Because they said the Forum was the house that Olivares built.
Right.
At least for boxing.
And there were 17,000 people there, and there were 3 Caucasians, me and my 2 kids, and 17,000 Mexicans. It was so incredible.
Yeah.
It was so fantastic.
Thousands more in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Listening to the radio.
Totally sold out, and it was really good. So anyway, I have questions. I'm just
All
going
right.
to jump rope a little
All
bit
right.
here. Just
Doug,
Go.
in which movie H.S. Thompson was best portrayed, in your opinion?
What was that?
H.S. Thompson.
In which movie?
Rostovsky was asking.
It's the one with Johnny Depp. Not the Buffaloes Roam. That was Bill Murray. That wasn't bad. Where the Buffaloes Roam.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, I'm going to say. And it wasn't just Depp, it was also the other actors around him, the supporting actors. Yeah, I would say that, yeah.
Do you think Kovalov's
I
age,
like Johnny Depp.
Do you think Kovalov's age is a factor in his,
Yes.
his legs giving out?
Yes, I think age and lifestyle is a factor. I also think that Kovalev was always at a certain level. Like I said, he was not an elite amateur boxer. And I think when he first came to the United States, and he wasn't easy to work with because he was with Abel Sanchez in the Summit, and Abel told him to leave.
and he was 8-0 with 8 knockouts.
Yes, and it wasn't because he wasn't performing well. It wasn't because he was on the bottle back then. It was just because he didn't listen to instructions. He didn't adhere to Abel Sanchez's training system. And Abel's old school. He's like, it's my way or the highway. So he put Kovalev on the highway. But Kovalev, see, I remember when I visited the Summit in 2011, Kovalev was still training there. And Kovalev was spoken to me along with a couple other Russian light heavyweights. He had a guy, Dudchenko, some dude, his last name was Dudchenko. And I think Abel may have spoke more highly of Dudchenko, who Kovalev knocked out, actually, I think, in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
No. Kovalev knocked out the guy who knocked out Dudchenko. Kovalev knocked out the
Who
dude.
was that?
Yeah, a dude from France of like Arabic descent, Najib something. I forget the guy's name. Maybe Najib Ali or something like that. But he showed me sparring footage of all these guys, including Golovkin. And he showed me sparring footage of Golovkin sparring with the two Russian light heavyweights. And I'll just say Golovkin had no problem with either guy. But the thing is that with Egis Klimas as the manager and Main Events as the promoter, and Don Turner kind of whipping some discipline into Kovalev, and John David Jackson adding some pro wrinkles to Kovalev's power game, they got the most out of his ability. And I really think, Kovalev sort of peaked in 2013, 2014. And beyond that, probably diminishing returns, even before the Andre Ward fights. He was starting, you could see signs of slippage in Kovalev before the first Andre Ward fight, which I still say he won that fight. But that really is the peak. That was his peak performance, really, was that first fight against Ward.
I thought he won that.
But physically speaking, he wasn't at his best against Ward, even in that first fight. There was deterioration.
How about mentally in the second fight?
Mentally, he was gone.
Totally.
I don't know if he even showed up in the second fight.
Totally.
He caved in, capitulated.
Is there any active fighter out there that has potential to follow Triple G's footsteps? Martin asks.
Yeah, I don't know. You
A lot of
got to
people
get the
talking
perfect
about
storm.
Munguia.
You know what? Like Kovalev had the perfect group around him to have that run that he had with John David Jackson and Klimas and Kathy Duva. Golovkin had the perfect storm, but he's just a higher level athlete. He's more dedicated to the sport. He lives cleaner.
And more stable.
He's more focused. Yeah, just mentally, he's just together more. He's a more mature adult. But he needed help as well from Tom Loeffler in terms of connections here in the United States and his promotion. And Abel Sanchez modified his amateur style into a pro style that audiences can appreciate no matter where they're from. So it's a team effort, So whoever's going to have that kind of run, you got to have the right trainer, you got to have the right manager, you got to have the right promoter, and then the athlete himself has to be at a certain level and also has to be dedicated. And it's rare. It's rare that all those pieces fall into place. It really is.
That was great. It is great chemistry.
It is.
It's like perfect. You couldn't put that together.
It's very hard
Right.
in any area of life.
Yeah.
You know,
Right. No,
it's
it's
not
just
not
like
just boxers, but like
I mean,
you know,
if you
with
take-
musicians. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
How often do you have like a great band
No,
and
that's what
they
this-
fall apart after a few years because they hate each
No,
other?
that,
You know, they can't work together
no,
anymore.
but these guys, I mean, you take
Yeah.
like Abel and Tom
Yeah,
and Triple G.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they're all perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
And they all respect each other.
yes.
And
Part of
that
the
has
puzzle.
a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
So I have a few questions, Doug.
All right.
Okay, and actually, these questions from last week. So, okay, so this was a fight.
By the way, if I could answer that question, who's going to be the next Triple G? If I knew that, if I had that magic, I'd be rich. I had like, you know what I'm saying? It's like being able to call a stock. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I would, you know, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna bet on this guy. You know, I'm gonna hit. You know, it's like, you know, you never know. There has to be a perfect storm.
Hey, so you know the kid that was on the 3 knockdown rule that Steve Kim interviewed? That's
Vadim Kornilov.
Wow.
He's amazing, isn't he?
Totally. I mean, you see how they,
Young Russian. Have you seen
Yeah.
him?
No.
Oh,
I've
he looks
never
like a
seen
movie
him.
star. I ain't joking. Like the dude could be a model.
I know, but
Is that the guy behind?
Provodnikov. He was with Provodnikov.
Yeah.
He was with. I think he started out with Roman Karmazin, but no, he's learned a lot. He's had some really good
And
fighters.
Bevel was a great interview.
He's with
Yes, he
Bevo,
was.
right?
Yes, he's with Bevel. Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but he gave the story on the 3 knockdown rule. I think it was this last
English is
edition.
so good, yeah.
And he talked about how he got together with Bevel,
Yep.
how he got into that business,
Yeah.
and how they
amazing?
all met. They all met really at the wild card.
Yes, they did.
And it's really good. So it was.
Gotta catch up on that one. That episode.
Did you hear it?
No, no.
It's good.
I'm
No,
gonna
it's
listen to
fun.
it.
very good.
Yeah.
They ended abruptly because a fire alarm goes off, and it's great. And they're so good. There's so Steve and Mario Lopez and even the producer Buffalo Nichols.
Yeah.
They just go with it. They use it like, okay, it's time to go. You know, but they have fun with it.
It was
It's so
good.
good. Yeah,
No, but that was a good interview.
it was
That's good.
excellent interview.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
check
so
it out.
I got one. So hey, it's really good to see Atlantic City back. I just never thought about it much, but it's I guess with the sports betting,
Yeah.
has something to do with it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, and the sports betting's going to help boxing a lot.
Sure.
I mean,
It always has.
because look at the NFL. The reason it's so big is because of all this sports betting. on it.
Fantasy football
Yeah,
and all
exactly,
that. Sure,
yeah.
of course.
So you can bet on it. So here, this fight was in Atlantic City, July 24th. This guy retained his IBF super lightweight title,
What year?
1993.
1993. So IBF.
Winner 12,
140 pound title. You say super lightweight?
super lightweight. Yeah.
Okay, so the 140 pound title, IBF 1993,
Yeah.
and it went the distance?
Yeah. 12-round decision.
Who had the belt? Who had the 140 pound belt in 1993?
He had a nickname.
Is it Sweet Pea?
No?
Pernell Whitaker held that belt real briefly, and it would have been right after his lightweight title reign. But you know what? No, by '93, Pernell Whitaker was at welterweight. That's right. So okay, was his nickname the Natural?
Yeah.
That's Charles the Natural Murray. Who the hell would he have beaten?
And I think this guy was from Puerto Rico that he beat. I think. I could be wrong.
Does his last name start with an O?
But his last name is has 2 parts of his last name.
Huh. Who the hell did Charles Murray? That's one of those forgotten fighters. He was good.
He was real good.
Yeah, he was a good boxer. Managed by Mark Roberts. He was part of Mark Roberts' triple threat team, which was the Natural Murray, Ice Cole, Al Cole, the cruiserweight, and Ray Mercer, the heavyweight.
They were all good.
Yeah, they were good. They were real. Yeah. Shoot, man. Dude from Puerto Rico, huh?
Well, maybe, you know.
Well, you go with it. You say Latino,
like a
like a
Just,
Latino
I mean,
Caribbean
it was a guy
sounding
that
name.
was sort of, he fought a lot of guys. He was on TV a lot. You know his name for
Was
sure.
it Cardona? Carmona? Cardona?
And I wish I knew where he's from.
No, I don't
Sure
know.
it was,
I can't think of it.
I'll give you his first
And
name.
the
All right,
answer
give me his
is
first name.
Juan.
Who won?
Juan Molina?
Juan La.
Oh, Laporte.
Yeah.
Juan Laporte. Wow, he fought.
Was
Murray
he,
fought
was,
Juan
was
Laporte.
he from Puerto Rico?
Yeah, he was from Puerto Rico, and he's a former featherweight. Featherweight title
I
holder.
feel better.
And
There you
tough
go.
cat. Yeah.
He was real tough.
Yeah,
Okay.
super tough. Wow.
Okay, here's
I
one.
didn't. You know what? I got to go check out Charles Murray's BoxRec page because I'd forgotten that he ever fought Juan Laporte.
Okay, so here's one also in Atlantic City, also on July 24th of 2004.
Uh-huh.
This was a minor, I mean, to us it was a major upset, but it was sort of a minor upset.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
2004.
Yeah, and winner 10, the guy who lost was from here,
What's up, boxing?
and it was a guy with a big future ahead of him.
This is 2000. What weight class was this?
And, you know,
2004.
maybe lightweight or a little lighter.
Huh.
And it was a guy that was, you know, like a no-brainer. He was going the whole way,
Yeah.
and he just goofed up, you know.
Huh.
He,
Any of you kids at home know this one? Atlantic
okay,
City.
I tell you, the other guy though was from Texas. The guy who won.
Man, this is
Might
lightweight.
be from.
Kids here asking about Canelo.
What do they want to know about
They want
Canelo?
to see if any of us picking Canelo to win. I'm not picking him to win.
I'm
That's
not.
just
I,
me.
I like Golovkin, but I mean, if Canelo was a big underdog, I would put some money on him if I was a betting man. I mean,
Anyways,
the fight's in Vegas, folks. I mean,
That's true.
I mean, Triple G might have to knock this dude out. I don't know how easy it is to knock out Canelo. I don't think it is. I don't know.
I think it's
Listen,
real.
I think it's a fight, people. It's a. I mean, you know, if you wanna put some money on Canelo, I wouldn't be mad at you. Or if you're picking Canelo, I wouldn't be mad.
Wait, do you
at
think
you.
Triple G's gone back a little? Can you see?
Well, I think he's plateaued. I think
Yeah.
he peaked just athletically speaking in 2015.
Yeah.
You know, it's 2018. You know, I mean, listen, he's 36. It's not old. And the
And
way
not
he
old
lives
for
in
him
France.
either, the way
no,
he lives.
and he hasn't had a lot of punishing fights, but I mean, just the grind of boxing and you know the stress out of the business side of boxing. And then when you become sort of an international brand and celebrity, and you're being pulled all kind of ways, that can wear on some people. Some other people deal with it better than others, but when you're a national hero in your country and there's all these demands for public appearances, and it's coming from like whatever, the prime minister or president or the Congress or whatever, it's just like that's
Let me
heavy.
ask you this
I mean,
question.
just for me, it's stressful. Like this upcoming week is going to be crazy with like media events. Like Tom didn't even mention it, but there's Triple G's media day on Thursday. I'm telling you, by Saturday, I'm gonna be worn out just from doing like the weigh-in at the Avalon on Tuesday, and then the Superfly media lunch, followed by the
Whole
live
card,
stream of
like-
Hollywood Fight Nights on Wednesday, and then Thursday going to Big Bear and doing that whole rigmarole, and then Friday doing the Belasco show, and then Saturday there's Jojo Diaz versus Jesus Rojas back at the Avalon, and then there's working on the next magazine, getting the next magazine rolling, and working on the fight program for Canelo Golovkin, and then interviews and all that kind of stuff. Like,
You're a young
it kicks
man,
your
Dougie.
butt, though.
You're
Well,
young.
I'm closer to
That's
50
crazy.
than I am 40.
So you
And now Golovkin is getting closer to 40 than 30. I'm just saying all that stuff outside of the ring, and he's being pulled in a million different ways. I can't
So let me
imagine
ask you-
what the demand is for Golovkin. Not just interviews, but like personal appearances, and even where people are like, "We're gonna pay you. Come on, we're gonna pay you." And you gotta.
He doesn't care.
Maybe he has to sit down with Max like. This is kind of a big deal in Kazakhstan, and there's some money, and do we do it? And like it's got to be hard. So I'm just saying that takes a toll on you for some guys. And I think Golovkin is like a pure athlete. Like he wants to train, he wants to focus on his next fight. He lives to perform, to get in that ring and fight. He's not about like other fighters like Nonito Donaire. Loves all that other stuff. He loves the attention.
But he trained too.
I'm not saying he doesn't train and he's not a competitor, but I'm saying he's the kind of guy where he's out there doing the media things and doing interviews and
loving it.
and he's loving it. He's like, this is why I do what I do, is to sit in front of a camera and have these people ask me questions, and I'm the center of attention, and I get to hold court, and I get to talk, and blah, blah, blah.
And be a rock star.
I'm a rock star, right. Like he's thinking about, here's what I'm going to wear. I'm going to have sunglasses. I'm going to have a Filipino flash hat. I'm going to have my own gear. I'm going to have like the jumpsuit.
I'm going to get my
I'm going to get out my car like this.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, he's thinking like, and Triple G's like, he's just like, Chloe, let's do this. This is just part of the job. I got to talk to these schmucks, you know? They're going to ask me the same question over and over again. I got to remind myself, don't slap them across the face. Just, you know, swallow your pride and answer the questions over and over and over again. I got to do this. And I have to imagine somebody with that kind of mentality, it's a drag. It gets to be
So let me
it's
ask
draining.
you this. The emotional side for Triple G.
Yeah.
Going through this whole thing.
Yeah.
Getting screwed in the first fight.
Yeah.
Then having, you know, with the meat thing.
Yeah.
Okay, then with the negotiations.
That had to be stressful.
Okay,
Yeah.
so do you think that's going to motivate him positively or negatively going into this fight?
I think it's going to motivate him positively, because he feels throughout this whole process, going back to the first fight with the controversy, but definitely with the start of 2018 and with Canelo's scandals, controversy, he feels like I'm what's right about boxing. Canelo is what's wrong about boxing. I feel that real boxing fans have my back because I'm representing the sport the way it should be represented. I think he believes that. Samir, you can back me up on this, being around him,
and
right?
life
Yeah.
also.
So, right, yeah.
Not
How
just
to live,
boxing.
right. How to live, how to conduct yourself as an adult.
How to be pure.
Yeah, how to be. So I use it. That's going to motivate him, and I think it was good that he had a full camp and that he actually fought on May 5. Had he not fought, I would be worried about his mental state. Like
That was a great move.
he kind of cleared it, and now he's focused solely on Canelo. Having said that, that's still a roller coaster ride. It still takes its toll, even if you feel if you're on the side, you're on the right side. You know, even if you feel like you're doing things the right way, that's still a grind.
Well,
going through all that
sometimes
shit.
all that hypes you up so much.
Yeah.
You go too
Right,
far.
you can overdo it. Right,
Yeah.
you come out like.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
You know,
like
here's the hammer of justice,
I-
Canelo.
I-
Right, you know,
Like,
and Canelo's like, I
in
can
the
see that
rematch,
coming. You know,
in the Shane Mosley Vern
Right.
Force rematch,
insane. Like his
Right.
whole camp was about running out and like
Yeah.
one left hook.
and that was it. That
Yeah,
was the whole
and all
fight.
all Vernon did was like got him in a headlock.
Yeah.
He said, "Calm down, dude. Calm down.
Right.
Calm down." And then Shane at the end of the first round was like, "Okay, I'm calm." And then he went back to his corner and was like, "I'm out of ideas. I'm out of ideas."
No.
Yeah.
You,
Oh, well.
Do you know how many punches Shane threw per round in
That fight was abysmal.
22 punches a round.
And here's the thing, Vernon Forrest didn't throw that many more. It was like Pacquiao,
Yeah.
Mayweather. It was like, you both suck. Okay, stop with this shit. Yeah.
Were you at that second fight?
Fuck no. No. I was in Indiana. Yeah.
Do you think if Canelo wins, there's going to be a third fight?
Maybe. It depends on the fight. If the fight's good, it does great business. Let's say Golovkin wins, but Canelo feels that he won that fight. Right? Let's say it's close. Let's say it's competitive and Canelo's pissed off. Oh! Then he'll make concessions to get that third fight with Golovkin. And Golovkin might do it because the business is so good.
No, they will do it.
And Canelo will be talking and, bitching
I think
and all
if
that.
Canelo wins, he's not going to give a rematch.
But I don't think it'll be immediate, though.
Yeah.
I think, and here's the thing, I'm not into an immediate rubber match. No matter how good the fight is, there's the middleweight division is deeper now than it was 2 years ago, and these guys are fighting each other. So the winner of Billy Joe Saunders, Demetrius Andrade, I'd like to see them fight one of those guys, Canelo or Golovkin. And the winner of Danny Jacobs, Sergey Derevyanchenko. Whoever wins that, I'd like to see them fight.
Who do you
I want
like?
to see mix and match. I want to see, just like with the light heavyweight division. I want to see these guys all fight each other. Beterbiev, Bivol, Alvarez, whoever else is out there. Let's mix and match. Let's get some matchups. That's what makes for a good That's what helps boxing. That's what helped boxing in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s with the welterweights. There's a bunch of good welterweights, and they were all fighting each other. Same thing at light heavyweight, when you had Matthew Saad Muhammad and Yaki Lopez and Marvin Johnson, and then Michael Spinks came, he came up, and Dwight Braxton, when he was still a light heavyweight. Like, these guys got to fight each other. If you have a deep division and they don't fight each other, it's bad for boxing. Like welterweight has all this talent, but it takes them too long to fight each other. So the division is not as hot as it could be. And if they were all fighting each other like crazy, back to back to back to back, it would help boxing. Boxing would be more popular.
Speaking of welterweights,
yeah,
Sean Porter is such a good announcer.
Oh yeah,
wow, that guy is so smooth. Yeah. I mean, he does that. Like when he's on TV, and when he talks, it's complete opposite of the way he fights.
Yeah, I know.
Complete opposite.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
because he's polished.
He's so polished.
Yeah, he's polished.
And he's so smart, and he looks
and
so good.
He exudes really positive energy.
And he really looks good.
Yeah, and he likes it. He's happy.
Yeah, no, he's great. He's the best.
All right, I can't get this. I don't know why I'm having a brain fart here. 2004. Atlantic City, it was lightweights, a local guy.
From Texas.
One guy from Texas. Was the guy from Texas, was it Juan Diaz?
No. James.
Oh, James Leha? Jesse James Leha? Who would he have been fighting?
He beat a guy that we all thought was
JP, come join us.
I'm trying to get it.
We have
going to the moon.
Yeah. And then
James Leha?
He beat a guy, it was a 10-round decision, upset.
That wasn't his fight with Camacho, was it? That was early.
No, this is
Camacho
a guy
Jr.?
that was on his way up.
And James Leha shocked him? Who was it?
Francisco.
Oh, Francisco Bojado? God, I forgot. I forgot about that. Jeez.
That's right, Doug. He just had a vacation.
I told you this is going to be a rough one for me.
Hey.
I forgot that Leha fought Bojado. Yeah, and Leha, it was his birthday. I think it was his birthday that day or that night.
Whose birthday?
Leha's. Like he was like 36 or something. He was
Bojado, did he blow it?
That good. I was never like crazy as I wasn't hyped on Bojado like I was for Valero, because Bojado never trained like Valero.
But Bojado's like the guy from Freddy's Joke. The kid that.
Oh yeah,
Gomez.
Frankie Gomez. Yeah.
Wow.
I still have people asking me about Frankie Gomez. I'm like, you should have been asking me 2 years ago about Frankie Gomez. Who cares now?
Do you remember Yuri Boy Campos?
Yeah.
Jacob's asking.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I think he's still fighting. He's got well over 100 fights. I remembered like it was yesterday when he fought Felix Trinidad. And I think Campos was 56-0 with 50 knockouts.
Remember he fought at the sports arena?
Yeah.
And it was on
got
local
destroyed.
TV.
Got demolished. That was a Don Chargan. That was Jose Luis Lopez from Durango.
Right. Yeah, right.
And Lopez
was
was
good.
a monster.
He was good,
yeah.
Who do you pick, Canelo or Charlo?
If they fight?
Yeah.
Canelo. Yeah, good fight though. Good fight. Canelo's just got the seasoning, and he's tough, and he's. Here's the thing about the Charlo brothers: we haven't seen them in with somebody who can hit them back hard. And Canelo's so good with the head and upper body movement and the counter punching. I got a favor, and just with his experience, I got to favor Canelo.
Max Golovkin gave a lot of respect to Charlo brothers.
Yeah.
During conversation.
Yeah.
He liked them.
Yeah. No, with the whole Triple G team
Yeah.
gives respect to the Charlos. I think either Charlo would be a good opponent for Triple G in Texas if he ever fights there.
Hey, so
Great
I
fight in
asked you
Houston.
I
Toyota
asked
Center.
you how you thought Triple G was going to react emotionally.
Yeah.
What do you think about Canelo? How is he
I
going to
think
act?
he'll be fine. I think he's. I mean, they're clearly protecting him right now by not doing like a lot of media or whatever.
You think that's good or
but
bad?
I think it might be good for him. It's not good for the promotion. I think they should.
Well, I don't think they care about that. I think they care more about, and then I think they should.
Yeah, so they know him. The Reynosos, the father and son team of Eddie and Chepo.
Yeah.
They know him. They've known him since he was a boy, and they know how to keep him sharp mentally. But I think Canelo's strong mentally, so I think he'll be fine.
You know, I think he's going to fight the same exact fight.
Yeah,
and I think he should.
that would be smart.
Very smart. There's
Thing
no
is,
reason.
if he fights the same exact fight, it's going to be another really close fight,
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of heat on Nevada because of the scorecards of the first fight.
Right.
And sometimes what happens in a
There's a
rematch,
backlash.
it's like the new officials want to make up,
Right.
set the record straight for the old officials.
That's fair.
And then that happens, you know. So
They're going to be. It's going to be. They're going to be overly.
I'll give you an
sensitive.
example, and it was another controversial draw in 1999 when Lennox Lewis fought Evander Holyfield. Lennox Lewis had to settle for a draw, and he got robbed. He should have won that fight. Now in the rematch was actually closer to being a draw than the first fight. The rematch was competitive, and Holyfield gave a tremendous effort, but you knew that Lennox Lewis, if it went 12 rounds, he had to win, because if it was just mildly competitive, because the backlash was so bad on the first fight.
Yeah.
So it was like the judges were giving Lennox Lewis extra credit. And there was a close scorecard, which was right. It was like 7 rounds to 5, and then the other ones, I think it was like 8 rounds to 4, and then 9 rounds to 3 for Lewis. Lewis did not win 9 rounds in that rematch, but it's like they had to do it. So the thing is, for Canelo, if you play it safe, if you fight the same fight, that same style, it's going to be close. And maybe if you're Canelo, you don't want it close, because maybe there's like they're going to be like, ooh, we can't get too much public heat.
I can see
you
this
know?
happening.
They're sensitive about that.
Fight.
The
Yeah.
commission's sensitive. You know, Bob Bennett, he reads everything. He watches. You know, he'll tell you, I don't care what the public thinks. They care. You know, that was, listen, they had to suspend Canelo. They had to. They had to follow their own rules this time, because there was too much
Pressure was applied. Yeah.
Too
Yeah,
much. Too
but
much.
It also,
Yeah.
all that's building the gate up for this
It is.
one.
No, I
And
mean,
the
they're smart.
pay-per-views. All the money's
I mean,
in pay-per-view.
It was a good move, you know. You say, hey, we followed the rules, but no hard feelings, Canelo. It was, come right back, Sure.
Wow, that fight's only
It'll be
5
here
or
before
6
you know
weeks
it.
away.
Yeah.
Wow. And Samir, you're going to be gone.
I will be in Kazakhstan, watching from Kazakhstan
Yeah.
with my fellow countrymen.
You think they're going to show it over there?
Good one, Dave.
It's going to be the hugest watching party
Yeah.
in history.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what kind of ratings Golovkin does in Kazakhstan.
Wow. Hey, I can't wait. I can't wait for this fight. It's exciting.
It's going to be a fun week.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
And by the way, Tom Loeffler just told us that there's going to be a public workout. It's going to be like at the end of August.
Yeah, end
at
of
LA
August
Live,
on a
right?
Sunday.
Yeah, on a Sunday.
it's probably
I
going
bet
to
you
be...
they do LA Live.
No, LA Live for sure.
Yeah.
That's what he
Outside.
told me, yeah,
There's
same
no
thing.
other place.
Yeah, where else would they have it?
The Coliseum.
Yeah.
No, they'll have it there for sure.
Sure.
They have to, but that's a good move.
Yeah.
To have that, Plus, it doesn't cost anything like having these
Production, no.
media things, like the one they had
Yeah.
for the they had that at LA
Oh,
Live
yeah,
too.
that outlet, yeah.
When
That's
it was
more.
I wonder if they're going to use the same promotional video. There's a promotional video where Triple G and Canelo sit at the office cubicles.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
And then there's
They have gloves on at the
They have
the
gloves on, and
typewriters or
they're like working on their
computers?
computers, and then there's like a little rumble at the office.
Or there's a bell. It's like maybe somebody's
there's
like
the
microwaving
microwave,
something.
And Tom Loeffler and
Ding.
Oscar is there too.
Oh, that's cool.
Chilling.
That's cool.
I hope they're going to
I
release
think
that.
Yeah.
the first fight, the Mayweather Conor fight, took away a lot of people.
Yeah, it was only 3 weeks prior.
3 weeks and
Yeah.
took a lot of the buzz away.
Yeah, and
Also
then we
a
had
lot of-
the trouble with the hurricanes, the tropical
Yeah,
storms, which
that
knocked out
also-
certain key regions of the U.S. like Texas.
So there's going to be this huge UFC fight on October 6th. Do you think because the promotion will sort of overlap, this will kind of affect the numbers? Because it's going to be Khabib versus Conor.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
so
and
that
like,
was made.
It's
Huh?
been
That's a
anticipated
huge,
like for a long
that's
time.
huge,
It's
yeah.
October 6th. So
I think it's far enough away,
yeah.
and the boxing's happening first. So. Yeah. Did you have any more questions
Yeah,
there?
I guess so. Okay, this was a real famous knockout.
Okay.
Made the cover of Ring magazine,
All right.
July 29th, 1994.
July
MGM
29.
Grand. I was there.
Okay, was it a super middleweight fight?
Yeah.
It's James Toney knocking out Prince Charles Williams.
With with how much time to go in the fight?
Less than a minute.
25 seconds.
Yeah. James was winning though.
Yeah. No,
But Williams was putting it on him. It was a hard fight. That was Tony's fight before he faced Roy Jones Jr.
And
But the picture was great because he just kept
wow.
counterpunching him and uppercuts and Prince Charles Williams was a big dude because he was a light heavyweight who came down to super middleweight, and when he went down, when Charles went down, it was like this back arch.
Yeah, exactly.
And the photographer caught it.
Yeah, perfect.
He's just like,
Yeah.
oh.
And who was on
Beautiful.
the same card?
Oscar de la Hoya took out Maramero, Jorge Paez. Underrated featherweight from Mexicali, Mexico, everybody.
What round?
And he was a good lightweight, too.
What round?
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oscar was a beast at lightweight.
Yeah. Wow.
Man, icing people.
Supposedly
Taking out good fighters.
Paez didn't know where he was for 2 weeks.
Yeah. He was hurt. I
Okay.
believe it.
So let me ask you this. When did Paez win the title?
Oh, I don't remember. I think it was 1988
And where?
in Mexicali.
Yeah.
IBF title against Calvin
And
Grove.
Why is that fight sort of famous?
It was the last 15-round title fight.
Right.
And Paez was behind on all 3 scorecards, but he scored 3 knockdowns in the 15th round.
Right.
So he had a 10-6 round across the board. Wins on points.
Okay, I want to ask you
How crazy is
this. Let me
that?
ask you this.
I bet you that's on
What
YouTube.
network was it on and who was the announcer?
Oh,
You know for sure.
I know.
No, you do know.
I didn't watch it live.
You do.
I was watching.
Okay, I'll give you one hint. Tuesday night.
That was Tuesday night. Oh, so it was Tuesday. Okay, so it was USA Network, which means it was Al Albert and Sean O'Grady.
Right. You got it.
Nice.
Get it?
But did they do it live or did they do
Yeah,
one of those
no,
things?
live.
Because they did a lot of tape delay.
No,
too,
that was
which
live.
was okay back then.
That was incredible.
Yeah, you can't do that now. By the way, you can't do tape delay. You can't. Everything's
It's
you know,
gonna
the
get
internet.
out so quick. Yeah.
That used to happen all the time, Samir. It was like Tuesday night fights would show something that was pay-per-view,
And
closed
no one would
circuit,
use
or
the
foreign.
results. You know,
Yeah. And they would just show it a week later.
Yeah. You
And
would know the difference.
You didn't know. You're like, oh yeah,
Well,
that fight happened.
Do you remember life without the internet?
Yes, I do. A little bit. You know, a little bit of the 90s and the early 2000s
You
in
know,
there.
I remember life without TV.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, there wasn't TV.
Oh man.
And then there wasn't
And now you're
color
streaming
TV.
on Periscope. Look at how far you've come.
No, I was an adult when color TV became in effect.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I was a kid. It was like the kid who had a color TV. Let's all go to his house to
Yeah,
watch
exactly.
Spider-Man cartoon.
You know, Coach, I'm surprised you know, like you remember stuff from when you were 21. When I was 21, I don't even remember like stuff like, and I'm 26 right now. And you still remember stuff when like that's
You
surprising.
were working too hard. You were studying, man.
I don't remember
That's
too
pretty
much,
much my
but
life.
I
Yeah,
remember.
just like-
Coach was out playing stickball, going to the Olympic.
Yeah, it was just like
Hitchhiking
like
every place.
cloudy stuff
Hitchhiking,
in my
right,
mind.
yeah.
But you just remember like everything.
No, I don't remember that much, but I do
Sneaking on
remember.
airplanes.
I remember that one fight when I was 21, like it was yesterday, like it was an hour ago.
Well,
I don't
it seems
know.
like it was kind of a big deal, though.
It was huge.
This book I have has got like, I think 4 or 5 pages devoted to this guy, Pajarito Moreno.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm telling Coach, he's totally forgotten. At least by most folks. I mean, maybe, you know.
Unless Don Chargan and
I
Bill
know.
Kaplan are watching
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
They would remember, but
Oh,
there's
sure.
very few.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I gotta. I'll give you the book when I'm done with it. You'll love it. It's a trip down. It's got it for you. It'll be a trip down memory lane. For
I'd
me,
love
it's
to
like
see it, yeah.
it's. I love reading about stuff that I never heard of. There's all these layers to boxing,
Yeah.
and you can't get the history of boxing just from the books that are out there, because the books are going to be about the most popular fighters,
Mhm.
and the record books, it's like you pay attention to the champions.
Right.
And there were so many, especially back in the day, there were so many popular fighters who never won a title because they weren't good enough.
Well,
or-
they only had 8 divisions.
You only
and
had 8 divisions and
eight
one
champs.
I know. So
That was
I mean,
it. They had. there
it's
was
not
one-
like those were the only popular fighters.
There were 8 champs.
Yeah, but
so
they
it
were
took guys like never got a shot.
They were just guys who were just regional attractions, which like that's how you would categorize, right? Pajarito. But I think he was he came a little bit before the TV era, but he was on TV. Some of his fights were televised. I know they were
had
filmed.
local TV here.
Yeah, they had local TV. And he was definitely he was like in movies, like just doing acting, like the Mexican cinema.
So do you know who started their career calling the fights at the Olympic Auditorium? First job ever doing announcing.
And he's like a famous sports announcer.
He just died.
Yeah, a couple years ago, right? I forget.
Dick Enberg.
Dick Enberg, yeah.
Who was huge.
Yeah, and he loved boxing.
He loved it?
Yeah, he loved it. Yeah, he had a soft spot in his heart for boxing. Yeah.
From doing those fights.
We interviewed him, or like with Max Boxing, I had that guy. Remember Peter Palmieri, little goofy guy? He interviewed Dick Enberg after some kind of sports, some kind of just general sports award show. And they had like the red carpet and Enberg. I think Enberg was getting an award actually.
But Enberg wound up doing a bunch of Super Bowls.
Oh yeah, no, he's
everything.
He's like a Hall of Fame sports broadcaster. Yeah. Yeah, you kids at home can wiki.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You know the coach at Ohio State football?
Which one?
You know, the head coach, head football
Now?
coach. Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
So you know about what's going on?
No. What's happening?
Do you think he's going to keep his job?
I have no idea.
You know?
I don't know.
Okay, what do you think about Leslie Moonfest?
Oh. Yeah, that's...
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like some guy can never come on to a girl
Yeah.
no matter what.
No.
If you did that,
Yeah.
you came onto some girl 20 years ago,
Yeah.
it means that, you
were
a
abusing
sexual
your
abuse.
power, right? Yeah,
It's
you
crazy.
were harassing. Yeah.
But,
It doesn't sound like Moonvest is like what's his face, like Weinstein.
Weinstein
Harvey Weinstein.
Or how about the comedian?
Louis C.K.
Louis
He's not that
C.K. He
bad.
was pretty crazy too, but the other
He
guy
was just jerking off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's embarrassing.
Come
but-
on, it was just joking off.
I mean, listen, I'm just saying, he wasn't like,
Well, is there anything wrong with jerking off?
no, I don't think so.
Oh, look how
If
we
there is, I'm in big trouble.
segued
man.
this. Segued this Periscope into like all
Yeah.
kind of subject.
Well, Moonvest, do you think that affects Showtime's boxing programming at all? Because
Well-
Moonvest is like a higher up with Viacom. Or he's the president
No,
of
he's the president
CBS.
of CBS,
Right.
But he's very successful. He's a
Yeah.
classy guy.
But he's a big part of like he's helped Showtime's boxing program
He's
out because like when Pacquiao came over to Showtime to fight Shane Mosley, and when they signed Floyd Mayweather to an exclusive contract, and when they did even with Mayweather Pacquiao happening, Moonvest had to get involved.
No, but he loves boxing.
Yeah, he's an
And
old school boxer.
But he's also a very smart businessman.
Well, obviously.
And he's the guy who really put together the Pacquiao Mayweather fight. And he was
he
was the glue.
It helped it. Yeah,
But
it helped.
but he usually he gets suspended in those situations. But
Yeah.
he didn't
Right.
because they're investing in. But it's all crazy. It's totally
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's out of control.
Yeah,
it really is.
it is.
So it's just
I agree.
you got to just stay home and watch Netflix.
Can't.
Can't chill.
Can't
That's
mess
all
with
you can do. If
can't
you
mess
go out
with
of your
it.
house, you're in trouble.
No, yeah,
So,
definitely.
do you think you're going to make it through this week, Dougie?
I am. I gotta get good rest today, tomorrow, Tuesday.
You going to get a massage?
I should.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I should. I'm banged up. You know, when you do those water slides,
Yeah.
you get banged up. When you're a kid, it's fun. You do it over and over and over again,
Right.
and at some point, it's like you feel every little.
You know, I have
bump.
a suggestion.
My feet hurt, man. God, my toes, and I don't know how I cut my pinky
Maybe
toe, but
just
it was nasty.
walk down in the morning or whenever. Go down to the beach when it's not crowded.
Yeah.
Just sort of walk on the sand by the water.
Yeah.
That's a good
And
massage.
relax your brain.
Yeah, that's important. That's
Yeah.
I did that yesterday.
good. Did you?
Yeah.
I went to the beach, just
It
like
works, doesn't
Just
it?
solo?
did
You went
some,
there?
yeah, just solo. Had my books, had my podcast and all of that,
Uh-huh.
and just went down and tanning and all of that. You know, on the beach on the
I
sand.
know it helps a lot.
Not enough people do that.
Yeah,
the,
I'm just
the
like-
water's right here.
and
the
I live right
ocean's
here.
Right
Yeah,
here.
it's like,
so
ah,
many
that's great.
people who live in LA
Yeah.
don't even. Do
No,
it.
it's really a form of meditation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it
You know,
is.
just to sort of and coming out to this track's the same thing.
Yeah,
You know, this is like church.
yeah.
So
Definitely.
everyone has the same feeling. We come out here like a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's empty. I come out at night a lot.
Yeah.
I've never been here at
Maybe
night.
like 7 o'clock
Check
at
it out.
night is so beautiful and so peaceful.
Right.
And no matter how many people are here, it's just still peaceful.
You're not like our man Milan Tiff, right? Coming out at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
No, Milan's just a different deal.
Yeah, that's a whole different. Okay.
Anyway,
No, that's cool. Yeah.
So I know one thing I did once. I used my phone while I was driving. I was so
Dangerous,
really
man.
embarrassed for myself.
What did you do? Answer a phone call?
I don't know why I did it. You know, it rang and I did it, but I just usually I pull over.
Yeah.
But you gotta really watch it. No, I just thought about it. Just like, you can't do it. You cannot. I mean, when you drive, I saw a couple real bad accidents this week also.
Really?
And you gotta really watch it. It's
Yeah.
really important stuff.
Scary.
So I guess we'll all be together Wednesday
All right.
night.
Yeah,
Wednesday
yeah.
night.
See you guys on
I might
Wednesday.
make it to Tuesday weigh-in too, just, you know.
Yeah, I think I'm
so
going to be
because
at the
I can.
weigh-in. Yeah, I think we're doing
How
a
about you,
production
Coach?
meeting afterwards. But I want to meet the fighters, talk to
Yeah.
them a little bit, just get like their
Do you li-
background.
I love weigh-ins. I know you don't.
I don't like
them.
weigh-ins. No,
I love
no.
the
Maybe
weigh-ins.
that's an old wrestling thing. Making weight. It's like I always felt miserable doing it.
Yeah, you mentioned you felt
Yeah,
bad for
I
the
always feel
fighters.
bad for them. I
Yeah.
do. It's like we're dragging this thing on, and some of these guys haven't drinking water in like
crazy.
12 hours, which is bad, but it happens. People
Yeah.
do it.
But you
I
know,
mean, we
when
don't
you-
know what these
Try
guys.
doing medics
Some
a
of these
little
guys are doing bad things to lose that weight. You
Yeah.
know, like the Danny O'Connor guy being in a sauna for
Yeah.
hours. That's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
How's he doing now?
I hope he's doing okay, but I
Sure
mean,
he's okay.
listen, fighters need to fight at natural weights, and they need to be smart about
I agree.
the weight cutting,
So what do you think
the
about
weight reduction. It
What
needs
do
to
you,
be
Same-day weigh-in.
gradual, man. It's
what do you
like-
think about same-day weigh-ins? That might
I
help
think
that
I
a
prefer
little.
that. I think
Yeah.
I prefer
I mean,
it. I
that
got to
would-
be honest with you
It's a
because
fair
it's
game.
it's not. We're no longer getting real weight classes. We
Yeah.
got two guys who weigh in
Feels like
at a
cheating.
certain weight, and then the next day, one guy is 1 or 2 weight classes heavier, and the other guy is 3 weight classes heavier.
Yeah.
I mean, and we probably had that last night with Kovalev Alvarez. I know we had it with when Munguia fought Liam Smith.
that was an official. Yeah,
That was
they-
insane. Like
when he was
Liam
26
Smith,
pounds or something?
Yeah, Liam Smith was like a middleweight or super middleweight, and then Munguia was like a light heavyweight. Actually,
Yeah.
over light heavyweight limit. That's too much. It's too much. It's too crazy. It doesn't make any sense, and that can't be good for your body.
Well, aren't they adopting some kind of a ruling? There was like a convention recently or
Yeah,
something.
where they limit how much weight you put on. It should be.
Yeah.
There should be like a limit. You shouldn't be putting on more than 10 pounds. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's crazy.
Look at Daniel
Just
Jacobs
stop.
against Triple G.
I was too much. He
that
put on
was-
too much, and you could tell he looked
Yeah.
big. And
Yeah.
now when I see him fight, it's like, well, Danny looks skinny
Yeah.
Mhm.
compared to that night. Like I don't know. It's just weird.
It's
I don't-
not going to change them. They're not
No, I
changing
know,
them
I
back.
know. And here's another thing:
They should.
weigh-ins for like the big fights, they're like it's PR.
Yeah.
It's a commercial for the fight, and they become their own.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Production.
That's not,
No, it's good
I
for
like
the
it.
sport.
Yeah.
I mean, like for Canelo Golovkin too, that weigh-in's going to be broadcast live as a weigh-in program,
Yeah.
a half hour and 1 hour
They
weigh-in
should.
program
Make a show about
in
it, too.
every country.
Yeah.
Every country, not just North America,
Yeah.
like throughout Europe, throughout Asia. Japan will have a film crew, a production crew
Yeah.
just there with like the biggest celebrity host
Yeah.
doing the weigh-in. I swear to God,
No,
that's
I
how it
think
was
it's-
last time.
I think it's good.
Yeah, no, it is.
But
good. I'm not
I tell you what I
complaining.
like about the weigh-ins is like
But I don't think it's healthy though. I
like
don't think it's
for the fight this week, the Tuesday weigh-in.
Oh yeah, what about
Okay,
it?
so I like to go to the weigh-in and just to feel the flavor and
Oh, yeah.
feel, and just
All the
to watch
different
these
camps,
guys
yeah.
and then see them fight the next night.
Yeah,
It makes it a lot better.
it's
for
you're
me.
right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
I'm excited.
it's an
I never
added
went-
layer of insight.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of different, and you get a little bit closer to the fighters, as a matter of fact. Because sometimes you chat with their coach or their families. Their families
just to
are there.
watch them, even if you
Yeah.
don't talk to them.
Yeah.
Just to watch the fighters and what they're going through and their anxieties
Yeah,
and how they
and you see their personalities come out.
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all positive, but you
Yeah.
know they're nervous, but they don't show it at all.
I think they should be a little nervous.
They better be. Anyway, Dougie,
All right,
Doing
hey, thanks,
good.
Coach. Yeah, sorry, my mind's not.
We're gonna miss.
I'm scattered.
We're gonna miss Samir. Samir's
Yeah, man.
leaving.
I don't know what we're gonna do.
What day are you leaving, Samir?
August 23rd, but you know, I'll call in.
I think
the
you should
stream.
get
All
an
right.
I'll phone in.
extension so you can be here for the Triple G fight.
I know, right? Yeah, it's all right. You know,
Yeah.
we'll figure this out.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, everyone, have a
Yeah.
great week.
For sure. Alrighty.
Be calm.
Like
Be
Monster.
happy.
Calm collective.
Calm,
Love-
cool, collected.
Yeah.
Love everybody.
Peace,
It all
love, rock
works
and
out.
roll.